Okay, Rachel, we're going to add to the knowledge that you just had on defining the directrix, the axis, and so on. Okay? Remember this equation. That's the one I told you. That's the standard way of writing the equation of a parabola that allows you to be able to find various properties of that parabola. Okay? Which is similar, I told you, to the equation of a straight line. It allows you to be able to say, oh, the slope is so, the y-intercept is so. The same idea. Okay? So if we have it this way, again, remember, we could either have x being the one that's squared, or we could have the case where y is the one that's squared. But the same idea works all the time anyway. So remember then, and I told you when we did that P was introduced because it has some special position in the life of a parabola. It has certain meaning, just like the slope has a special meaning in the life of a straight line. The number P has a special meaning in the life of a parabola. We'll see that now. Okay, so now the blue again is your parabola. I don't know if the blue comes out good in this video clips, but this is blue. Again, you got your x-axis, you got your y-axis. Based on the definition I gave you there before, we have a focus, we have a vertex, and we have the directrix. Now, the focus, it turns out that the P is the y-coordinate of the focus. Okay? It is the focus, since the axis of symmetry in this case is the y-axis, the x-coordinate of the focus is of course 0, because x is 0 along this line, but the y-coordinate is that same P. Okay? Very important. So it means this distance from here to here, this distance is P units. P units. Well, if that distance is P units, remember we said that the directrix is equidistant. I mean that any point on the parabola is the same distance from the focus as it is from the directrix. Well, the vertex is one point on the parabola, so if it's P units from the focus, then this also has to be P units. That is, this is equal to that. Okay? So in fact, the equation of the directrix in this case is y equals minus p, because this point here is point 0 minus p. Okay? Remember now, this line is orthogonal to the y-axis, right? This directrix, that's the part of the definition I wrote down here for you before. This directrix is orthogonal to the y-axis, so we know that its slope is 0. The equation of a line, its slope is 0, and its y-intercept is minus p, because of the fact that it has to be, the distance from the vertex there must be minus p, must be p units. So this is 0 minus p. So therefore the equation of that line, of that directrix, is y equals minus p. Okay? That's how it works, really. That's how p figures into this whole thing. You know? So if you're given certain properties, like if you're given the coordinate of the focus, for example, or you're given, you can find the equation of the parabola. If they'll give you something and tell you to find something else, but that's how it all figures together. That's how p enters. So two things related to p: the focus, and then the distance of the directrix from the vertex. Okay. Okay. Now, so that's one case. Remember now, that's one case. What about the case? This is the case if p is positive. Remember, I kept telling you that it depends on what the value of 4p is. But of course, 4 is positive. 4 is a constant. So really, it's what I kept saying really means it depends on what the value of p is. So let's look at the case where p is negative. Okay. So the same. So we stop this right here. We take on the case x, the same case, x equals 4py, or p is negative. Well, by now, Rachel, I hope you know that you can quickly, you should be able to draw the graph of this immediately. That it's just a reflection down on that one, because P is negative means this term here is negative. So whatever X is doing, X negative, X positive, Y will always be negative. So you know that that parabola is looking down. Okay? That parabola is looking down. That's the vertex. And the directrix will be right here. It's still P. Okay, so we know it to be P units. Well, the focus will be 0 minus P, because now it's the value of Y in this case is negative, is down. Okay, and this distance must be equal to this distance. So the equation of this line, this directrix line, must be Y equals plus P. Of course, we can drop the P, the plus. So the equation of that line is Y equals P. Okay, I hope that's clear.